Up to now, the stories I've shared with you were born from ancient pacts, from whispered legends and fears hidden in the folds of folklore. These were secrets guarded by communities, by families, by traditions. But there's another kind of secret. A more modern, colder, and perhaps more relentless type. The corporate secret. Large industries, in their incessant search for resources, dig deeper than any explorer, map territories no government knows, and sometimes they find things that weren't on geological maps, anomalies that defy science and common sense. And when that happens, the protocol isn't superstition or prayer. It's a confidentiality agreement, a mass dismissal, a fabricated bankruptcy, silence bought with money and fear.
Where am I? Dad, Mum, the door, the door's locked. What's happening?
He bangs on the door, and from the other side, he hears his father's voice. But it's not a voice of concern. It's a voice of fear and accusation.
Stay in there, Leo. Stay away from us. What have you done? My God, what have you done?
Leo looks at his own hands, and the first horror is revealed. They are covered in dry blood. He remembers nothing. He doesn't know where the blood came from. Doesn't know why he's locked up. He has complete amnesia of the last few hours. Exploring the room, he realizes it's a room in his grandfather's house, a house the family recently inherited, but which he had never visited before. The house where his grandmother grew up. Desperate for answers, he finds an old safe in the closet. A note left by his father says the combination is his grandmother's birthday. Inside the safe, the centerpiece of our mystery, an instant camera, 80s Polaroid style. Beside it, a note in his grandmother's handwriting, which read, "Do not use it. It shows more than it should." Ignoring the warning, in search of any clue, Leo picks up the camera. He will be the photographer, the witness, and the victim of his own story. The following files on the laptop are a mix of videos and digital photos of the instant pictures Leo took. This is where reality begins to unravel. Leo, still trapped in the room, starts using the camera, almost out of lack of options. He takes a picture of a plain wall. When the photo develops, he films it with his phone, incredulous. On the wall in the photograph, there is the outline of a door that doesn't exist in reality. He touches the real wall. It's solid. But, holding the photo in front of his eyes, he walks towards the wall and passes through. The camera not only shows another reality, it makes it tangible for a brief moment. He finds himself in a dark corridor that shouldn't exist, and so he escapes the first room. But he hasn't escaped the house. He has only plunged deeper into its labyrinth. Here begins what truly frightens. He discovers the rules of the game. The house is in a state of flux, constantly changing, and the camera is his only way to navigate. He uses it to reveal secret passages, to see occult symbols painted on the walls that are invisible to the naked eye, to find keys that only exist in the dimension of the photograph. He photographs a painting of a serene landscape. In the photo, the landscape is a scene of medieval torture. He photographs a statue of an angel. In the photo, the statue has its head turned, looking at him, and its plaster eyes are weeping blood. And he begins to hear her voice, Madeline, a whisper that seems to come from the camera itself, or from inside his head. She guides him, manipulates him, praises him when he solves a puzzle. "That's it, boy," she whispers. "You're almost there. Keep going. We're so close." Who is Madeline? Guided by the voice and the clues in the photos, Leo finds a series of cassette tapes hidden throughout the house. These are the recordings of Madeline Thorne's therapy sessions. The original owner of the house in 1987. The tapes reveal a horror story. Madeline was a talented photographer, but also an occultist obsessed with the afterlife. She believed that instant photography, by capturing light in a chemical process, was a way to trap souls. In the tapes, she calmly tells her therapist how she began to collect souls. She would lure people to her house, kill them in macabre rituals, and use the camera to capture their last breath, believing she was imprisoning their souls on the photographic film.
Every photo is a trophy. Doctor, a small cage. I have four souls in my collection, but the ritual demands more. The demon that guides me, the one with blue knees, he promised me a new body, a new life. I just need to complete the cycle.
Up to now, the stories I've shared with you were born from ancient pacts, from whispered legends and fears hidden in the folds of folklore. These were secrets guarded by communities, by families, by traditions. But there's another kind of secret, a more modern, colder, and perhaps more relentless type. Large industries, in their incessant search for resources, dig deeper than any explorer, map territories no government knows, and sometimes they find things that weren't on geological maps, anomalies that defy science and common sense. And when that happens, the protocol isn't superstition or prayer. It's a confidentiality agreement, a mass dismissal, a fabricated bankruptcy, silence bought with money and fear. Leo discovers that Madeline was killed by the police during the investigation of the disappearances before she could complete her ritual. The ritual required a specific number of sacrifices and, finally, a receptacle, a new body for her to inhabit. And the camera, ... The camera was the tool for the ritual, the key, and it had been dormant for decades, waiting for a new owner. An owner who had a connection to the house, to the family's blood, waiting for him. Leo. This is where Leo's videos become almost unbearable to watch. He realizes the terrible truth. He's not solving a mystery to escape. He's being forced to complete Madeleine's ritual. Every puzzle he solved, every door he opened, was a step in the ritual. Every time he used the camera to reveal the occult, he was, in fact, strengthening Madeleine's connection to our world, using his own life energy as fuel. The memory blackout, the blood on his hands at the beginning, were not amnesia. They were the moments when Madeleine's consciousness took control of his body. He remembered nothing because it wasn't him acting. The recordings show his desperate struggle against his own mind. We see Leo arguing with Madeleine's voice in his head. We see him trying to destroy the camera, only for it to reappear intact in his hand. He is in a race against himself. He needs to find a way to break the ritual before Madeleine completely dominates him. The journey leads him to the house's basement, the site of the original ritual. There, using the camera, he reveals the final scene: a ritualistic circle and the remains of Madeleine's victims. The ritual requires him to place the skulls of the victims in their proper places. As he struggles not to do it, his own hands move against his will, controlled by her, setting up the altar for his own possession. The last file on Leo's laptop is not a long video. It's a single photo file, a selfie, taken with the cursed instant camera. The photo shows Leo's face, but his eyes are not his own. They are glowing with an ancient and malignant intelligence. And the smile on his face is a cruel, victorious smile. A smile that does not belong to him. In the corner of the photo, almost invisible, the shadow of a tall figure with knees that seem to emit a bluish light can be seen. The possession was complete. When the police finally broke down the door to that room, days later, alerted by neighbors, they found the house in chaos. And they found Leo sitting in a chair in the middle of the room, in a catatonic state, clutching the camera tightly. He has been hospitalized in a psychiatric institution ever since. This case leaves us with one of the most terrifying questions. What is a curse? Is it an external force that latches onto us? Or is it a door that an object, like a camera, can open, but that only works if there is a corresponding darkness within us, a curiosity, a pain, a weakness that allows evil to enter? Was Leo an innocent victim of a ghost? Or was his own determination to solve the mystery the key Madeleine needed to turn the lock of his soul? Leave your reflections in the comments. If this story about the fragility of our own mind disturbed you, subscribe to the Unseen Archivist channel and hit the bell. The stories we investigate here remind us that sometimes the enemy is not on the other side of the door. He is on the other side of the mirror. In our next investigation, we will analyze a story of faith and doubt. The story of a young nun. In an alternative and bizarre version, of 19th century Russian Empire who embarks on a journey in search of a miracle. But she is not alone. She has a constant travel companion who speaks to her inside her head, the devil himself. Thank you for helping me piece together this puzzle. Until next time.